To Senator Durbin, this is a hearing that we need to have, quite frankly. These are difficult issues, and, you know, what does it mean to practice religion in America? Well, it means that I have to stand up for your right to pursue your religion, because if I don't stand up for your right, you won't stand up for mine. But part of freedom of religion and speech means that we can disagree. People can say, the one thing that I've learned about freedom of speech, you can go to a funeral of an American serviceman who's been killed in action and say awful things in the name of freedom of speech. I'm not so sure. I know I don't agree with the decision, but we're going to have to understand that religions are formed because people have different views, and it's okay to argue. There's just lines you cannot cross. And we are living in a rule of law society, so I stand by Senator Durbin and anyone else who wants to send the message, you can have your disagreements, but there are lines we're not going to allow you to cross. There are thousands of American Muslims serving in our military. And to anyone who will wear the uniform and protect America, God bless you. And that's the unique thing about America, is that we're able to attract a wide group of people with different views who will fight for a common cause. And so I do understand where you're coming from. But there are some real issues to be dealt with. Can we do two things at once? Can we stand up for the rights of Muslim Americans? I think the answer is unequivocally yes, we must, because if any one group suffers, all of us suffer. But we're going to have to come to grips with two things that are going on in the world. There are some things being said in this country that are disturbing. But there are efforts to recruit and radicalize young Muslims in America that have to be dealt with. And I can show you the statistics. What's going on in Europe, we're not immune from that. So the idea that we want to get ahead of an enemy who's trying to come to our shores and radicalize people in our country is a part of this war, and we are at war. What's going on in Scotland, England, when you had doctors that attack an airport, when you had young men raised in London blow themselves up in a subway, why should we be immune from that? So to the American Muslim community, I will stand with you to practice your faith and be an integral part of this country. But you're going to have to help your country, probably uniquely compared to anyone else, understand what's going on and fight back. The front lines of this war are in our own back door, in our own neighborhoods. So to the American Muslim community, I will stand with you as you practice your religion and you exercise your rights under the Constitution. But I am asking you to get in this fight as a community and let it be known to your young people that there are lines that you will not cross. And this radical message is being spread by people who would kill every moderate Muslim, Jew and Gentile, agnostic alike, that we're all in this together. I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan enough to know that the biggest victim of radical Islam are fellow Muslims who choose to just basically try to live their life apart from this radical agenda, and for that they meet sometimes a very bad fate. So we're all in this one together. We're all in America together. We must stand up for each other. And to Senator Durbin, I will try to do my part as a Republican to let my party and anyone listening know that I totally get it when it comes to freedom of religion and the ability to practice different faiths. But I would like everyone in the country to know, including Muslim Americans, that the agenda being set by people who are trying to radicalize young Muslims here in America and throughout the world is just as bad for the Muslim American community as it is for anyone else. Because maybe the worst offender of all is someone who practices the faith but rejects their ideology. People in the Mideast who are trying to separate themselves from this radical minority movement within the Muslim faith need our help. And that's why we need to help those people in Libya who are trying to replace Gaddafi. We need to stand by these young people in Egypt who are trying to chart a different path. And you'll never convince me that the young women who went into the square in Egypt want to replace Mubarak with the Muslim Brotherhood or Al-Qaeda. So we live in very complicated, interesting times, but it always helps to keep it simple. The simple thing for an American is to understand that if we can't accept differences among faith, then maybe yours is next. And the simple thing for every American to understand, that we're at war with an ideology that has no capital to conquer, no Air Force to shoot down, or no Navy to sink. And we're going to have to work hard and together to win. to the Muslim American community. Get in this fight and protect your young people and your nation from radicalization.
Thank you, Senator Graham. Senator